Hi, my name's Caroline Belinska. Thank you for joining me. This video is going to be a little bit different from what I normally do. I normally put together podcasts where I interview other women to find out amazing stories, find out things that we can do to make our lives better and to live a more purposeful life. About 5 weeks ago, I posted my 30-day Andrew Huberman challenge. And it's been about 5 weeks, and I wanted to share this. Well, I nearly didn't share this. I was about to just ignore it and just let it go away. But over the last couple of weeks, I've actually interviewed some amazing women that made me realize that this needs to be shared. Women should actually know what has happened. And I thought it was really insightful to share. The reason why I didn't want to share it was because I'm not here to be an influencer. It's not my plan to become some influencer. My plan is to create a podcast where I interview other women or other people, other specialists, to let women over the age of 40 know what we can do to make our lives better, to live a purposeful life, to live a happy life, to live a successful life. And it was never my intent to create a podcast where it was all about me. But I brought out the challenge because I wanted women to think through the process of what needs to be looked at when it comes to our health. And because I have done a lot of research over the last year myself, and I've learned a lot from a lot of guests that I've interviewed, when I was putting together the 30-day challenge for myself, I realized that I could share it to let women know little points that maybe the Andrew Huberman method sort of does a lot more of the generalization, what's right for everyone. And there's a few key points that we as women, we have not been taught properly, or we didn't know the science behind it in the past, and there's new information coming out. And that is why I put together my video about 5 weeks ago about the 30-day challenge. So what has happened since then? A lot has happened. So yeah, my first week was amazing. So the first week after doing that video, I had an amazing week. I was really keeping up with everything. I did all my exercises. And then it got to the end of the first week. And on the second week, I actually found that I wasn't able to keep up as I had before. Lifting up the weights was really difficult, which I was sort of like, I've done one really good week. I'd been working out before that as well. And I wasn't able to pick up the weights. And then it got to the third week of my challenge, and I physically couldn't. There was days I didn't even want to get out of bed. And I honestly thought it was just my menopause, and the symptoms were flaring up again. And all of a sudden I had a lymph on my neck, and it got extremely infected. And I didn't know this was going on. I had seen something pop up, and then I had ignored it for a few days, probably 4 or 5 days. And then I finally went to the doctor. Well, I called the doctor, it took 3 or 4 days to get in. They thought it wasn't that important. So I waited another few days. So by that stage, it was into the 4th week of my challenge. And I was in agony. I couldn't move my neck at all. It had swollen. It's still there a little bit. It had actually swollen. You can still see it. It had swollen all the way out. It was terrible. I couldn't move my neck. I was waking up in the morning in agony from just sleeping, and it was terrible. And I went to the doctor. I had to go to a specialist. I ended up spending 3 days in and out of hospital, getting all these tests done. They didn't understand what was going on. I ended up going on antibiotics, and it has gone away now. And that's good. And they said there was nothing serious, but they did all sorts of tests. They really didn't understand why I got so bad. And it made me realize that that was the reason why I couldn't complete my challenge. And during that time, I actually felt like I was failing. I felt like I felt like something was wrong with me. What was wrong with me? And there was something wrong with me, but it was inside my body that I couldn't control. And I kept on thinking I was failing at this challenge. I was like, how could I not get through this 30-day challenge? Why is it so difficult for me? And I was, really disappointed in myself. And I keep on watching all these videos of these amazing women online, and they're doing these the Andrew Huberman challenge or other challenges, and they're amazing and they're fantastic. And I think that it's fantastic that women can do it. But I realized that no one's showing when they fail. So after speaking to a guest about a week ago, I pre-filmed a podcast that will be coming out in a few weeks. And we were talking about failing in life. And I realized that this is actually a really good opportunity for me to share that when you fail, it's okay. So I might have failed my 30-day challenge, but I don't think that I've failed on my own. I haven't failed for myself. I think that what I have done was finally listen to my body. I didn't listen at first, but I finally listened to my body, and I realized that it was important that I actually looked after myself. So I'm in a situation now. I finished my antibiotics. I have actually started training again, but I have not gone. I'm not doing the 30-day challenge again for. I'll probably leave it until another month or something like that. I might start it in December. I'll see how I go. But the antibiotics has attacked my body in a way that it has made me feel weak. I already felt weak from the infection. And I'm not going to do this to myself. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, I have to do it because I'm going to be a better person if I do it. No, I need to look after my body, and that's what I'm going to start with. So I put on weight in that time period. I still feel tired. I wasn't working as much as I wanted to. I wasn't feeling great, but I'm back. And the last few days, from probably Saturday, I've been feeling really great again. And I did a workout on Monday. I did a workout on Tuesday, this morning, and the one this morning was better than it was yesterday. And I'm just going to keep going. And every day I'm just going to do more and more, and until I build it up to a point where I can start going into bigger routines. I think it's great that there's people out there that are doing these challenges and doing really well from them. That was my goal. My goal was to do really well from it, and I will get around to that. I'm sure that the next time I try it, I don't think that this infection, the doctor said that the chances of it coming back is very rare, and I don't think next time I will fail. I think next time, this was just bad luck for me. But I wanted to share this because I think that there's so many women out there that we are all watching all these things on social media saying how great people are doing. We're hearing all these great stories, but we do hear of I was really, for example, overweight, and then I lost all this weight, and look at me now, I'm fantastic. And I came out doing my podcast like that, where I was really, really suffering. And then I brought out my podcast after I already repaired my body and got back into a better mental well-being, better physical shape. And then I brought out my podcast and announced that. But I thought it was really important that I actually came on here now and say, hey, you know what? These things happen and we do fail. Now, mine was from an infection. Yours might be from maybe kids are going crazy. Maybe work's going crazy. Maybe you've just got too many other things going on. Maybe you've got some sort of other illness. There's a million reasons why this can happen. It might be like me the first time around when it was my menopause that had started and got really bad. But whatever it is, there's no reason to sit there and say that we failed. I think that as long as we keep trying and we keep putting in the effort, we haven't failed. And what am I going to do now? I wrote it down today because I wanted to make sure that I followed up with this properly. Every single podcast interview I do, and if you've been watching my interviews, I always end my podcast with asking my guest, what are 3 things that women should do right now to take action on to make their lives happier, more successful, and to live a more better life on purpose? And they all come up with really different things. That's really great. I love hearing them. So I decided that I would do that today for this video. So what are 3 things that I'm taking action on right now to make sure that I am able to do another challenge in hopefully, today's the 7th of November, hopefully in about 21 days I can start it again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rest. There's all this new research that sleeping is really important. I've never been a big sleeper, but I'm going to get as much rest as I can at the moment, making sure that I'm looking after my body. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to build up my stamina again. Like I said, I'm doing workouts each day, but I'm not going to push myself, but I'm also not going to not do it. So I know yesterday when I actually did it in the evening, which I don't usually do, was because in the morning I was like, I'm not feeling good. And then it got to the afternoon, evening, and I said, I have to do it because if I don't do it now, I've missed out on a day of getting a chance to do something. And I probably did about 15 minutes, but I did 15 minutes and I felt great after it. Today, I think I got to 25 minutes. So I'm going to build that up, and I'm not going to kick myself that I'm not doing it for as long or as heavy weights as I had before. And the third thing that I'm going to do is stop bringing up that I failed. So I have not failed at anything. I have had a little bump in this road, and that bump has caused me to lose probably 4 weeks of my time. I'm going away at the end of the year, and I'm finally going to learn how to kite surf. I'm saying that I'm not going to hopefully learn. I am going to actually get up. I can get up and I can go a little bit, but I want to be up and going without a trainer helping me. And that is my goal this year, and I will do it. And so I need to get back into shape for that. So the trip's booked. I need to be able to get up and do that. So that is my goal, and I'm going to work towards that. And I'm going to do everything I can to make that happen. So I hope this has given you a little bit of an insight into how trying something and trying to do a challenge doesn't always turn out the way you hope it does. You don't always reach your goals the first time round. You don't always reach your goals as in the same time period that you expect to, but that's okay. And it's okay to try again, and it's okay to do things in a different way. So I hope everyone is healthy and safe and looking after yourself and making sure that your body is being cared for, and making sure that you're doing the best thing, because at the end of the day, me getting a six-pack back is not as important as my health being as optimal as it can be, because at the end of the day, living a full life is all about being healthy overall. It's not about a six-pack. It's not about fitting into a certain pair of jeans, but it's about overall health and making sure that your whole body is mentally and physically strong and healthy, and it's not about the size of the jeans you wear. So I'm going to keep working towards my goal, and I hope that I'll be back in about 21 days to share me going back into the challenge. But until then, keep watching the podcast interviews. I've got a lot of great guests coming up. And if you've got any comments or if you've got any questions, please ask me in the comments below. Thanks. Bye.